$1,000. Now I'm smelling like LA. Met a from Miami to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly. Left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti. I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis. Like they from Oakland. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses. Literally, I'm lean. Mix it like a... Bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's sunny, California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga, and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me up Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. Don't interrupt, darling, I'm in the zone. Why does everywhere I go just remind me of home? You know that state of gold with the bed. Them other places come close, but they don't compare. Now I've been to New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California. Cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-D-M-V. All reminds me of California. Cause there's no place like California. California, California. No place like California. Fresh off a flight to Boston. Got a BZ in Maryland that I pipe too often. Headed right to Austin, most likely flossing. Tight, exhausted, high as a forklift. Handful of goons out in Colorado. Any given afternoon, you can catch a hollow. Honestly, it's the same out in Richmond, Virginia, or California.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and
we are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
They go play action here on first down. He's blitz coming, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
Here's the first carry for Matt Jones. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. This offense, here are the starters. It features a very speedy wide receiver, a Duke Blue Devil, Jamison Crowder.
Exactly right, and we're not talking about hoops. We're talking about a slot receiver who knows how to run all the routes so well and really is crafty beyond his years.
Third and long for Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Now on 4th down, the 2014 NFL leader as a rookie in yards per punt, Tress Way on to kick it. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Ertz over the middle. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On first down, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green Beckham. That'll bring up second down.
I can hear the sigh of relief all the way up here. A dangerous throw, backed up in their own territory and throwing an out route, and it got jumped, and they were fortunate it was only batted down and not intercepted.
Now a carry for Bernard, and he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Looking deep downfield. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And he may... track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Caught on the right side, Reed. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
First down, here's Cousins. And Reed with it over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now Jones, just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Joe Hayden is a complete cornerback. He tackles, he covers, and does everything with incredible speed.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They'll run the option left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
That was a good, strong run for a first down, and they are just dominating right now on this drive. They've stayed on the field, which consequently means the opposition's offense can't get out there and score any points.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. And he'll bang that one through.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns. And this is a quarterback who certainly played awfully well last week in their win. I know he's looking to replicate that one here today.
He'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Underneath, this is Bernard. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. Wentz now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to him back.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. All week in practice, they stress grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. So that means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
Wentz to throw on second down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lardarius Webb. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's Cousins. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out.
Green 39.
On play action, Cousins. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. It's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Green Beckham has it over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Wentz steps away to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And that'll bring up second down. Wentz will try again on second down. Complete on the right side to Green Beckham. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Now 3rd down, less than a yard. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Brief break in the action here. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Wentz now on 1st down. This is caught by Green Beckham. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive line.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Matthews, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits.
After reviewing the play, the line on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. To throw, Cousins. And Reed with it over the middle. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He finds his target. It's Crowder. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Cousins gives to Jones on the delay. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Cousins to throw it. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a gain of 7, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing.
Now the ball comes loose. And this is caught by Jackson. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
We have seen this before. We know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Wentz now to throw. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how it... Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Bryant, the lone receiver, left.
Here we go. 3-19.
Wentz now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here's Wentz to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. Now Wentz. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Flush to his right. So a touchdown. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Buying time to his left. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz escaping the pressure right. And an alley to run. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
We have so many different terms for 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. How about 3rd and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the first down.
Forced out to his left. This will be caught inside the 10. It's a pickup of 21. And the Eagles are now set up with a 1st and goal.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
He's got time in the pocket. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nolan Carroll. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
That's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Philadelphia getting sent to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. To throw is Wentz. And this one's incomplete. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he fires one, but incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And it's 4th and 4. So now on is Caleb Sturgis for the Eagle field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around, not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Cousins. Jordan Reed has it. And he's brought down after a good game. Give him 30 yards there. At this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Let's go! Green!
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
We focus our attention on the Redskins defense now. And a really nice job last time. Offense had great field position, but they were able to hold them just 4 plays, and they had to hit the field goal.
We saw the benefits of practice there from the defense, though, didn't we? Because most teams...
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Atama Rubin in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
Wentz going to throw. And he hits his man, Matthews. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
12 yards there as they move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big. I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays, really hurts the team on defense. That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
And maybe expecting a throw. They'll run it now out of the gun. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. 23 yards on the play. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize.
Now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. First down. Here's Cousins. His throw caught right around the 6. It's a gain of 24 that time. And the Redskins set up now 1st and goal. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. To the air again, it's Cousins. Surveying the field. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll take. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Wins to throw. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. was much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Let's see what they go to here on 3rd down and 6. They'll look to throw. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Back to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I'll tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the confidence from last week carrying over to this week.
2 weeks in a row. And I have to admit, last week, I thought they were going to really struggle running the football. I thought that they had a real challenge on their hands, and they more than met it. And
it's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Third and long for Cousins. Finding time. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now here comes the Redskin defense heading back onto the field. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? These guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Green Beckham has it over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Ricky Jean-Francois in on the tackle.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So here now, big spot for the kicker. It's Caleb Sturgis. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. There was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
Kick off your week by installing your game plan. Kick off your week by installing your game plan.